I am really wondering when this is going to end. Star Citizen of 3.70.2 is again in the PTU. We had the W patch yesterday, an X patch today, and of course this comes with a couple of questions as well as a couple of explanations that are desperately needed. Hey guys, welcome to the channel, the Eradicator here, and in this video we will go over the return of Star Citizen of 3.70.2 in the PTU, as well as the possible consequences of the extended works the patch is going to have over the next update, 3.18. So first, we are going to talk about the raison d'etre. Why do we have a next PTU phase in 3.17? Well, of course, that is to correct a maximum amount of bugs and other residual issues, but also to improve and polish some of the dynamic events that we're going to have this quarter, as well as some gameplay phases that we're playing on a day-to-day basis. So, just to give you a couple of examples here, one main example, I think, one of the main focus of the works in the PTU right now are the elevators, which of course don't always work, right? And I think that it is extremely important because we do not have staircases in the game right now, so that's why elevators have an extremely important role when it comes to taking places over short distances from one place to another, but at the same time distances that will be too long to go by foot. And this is happening either in buildings or in bunkers or in space stations as well. So as you may understand right now, elevators that do not work obviously significantly hinder the gameplay experience and compromises players at best, or at worst is actually forbidding them to play. Let's say, for example, you are in your hab, you want to go out there, but the elevator of your hab doesn't work, you can't even leave your hab building, and well, that's obviously a very big issue. But remember that Star Citizen of 3.18 is going to bring with it full persistence. So that means that CIG will no longer content themselves to just make items appear and disappear just all by magics, like for example freight containers or ships, but also elevators, right? Everything will have to exist physically and stay wherever they are, whether they are being utilized or visited by players or not. And that is why it is essential for the teams at Cloud Imperial Games to identify the reasons why elevators are not working and fix that before 3.18 comes live, simply because otherwise players are going to be indefinitely blocked, and it might even compromise the database, which could go as far as having another wipe, which of course is going to happen eventually at this stage of the game development, but nevertheless remains something that the team at CIG wants to avoid as much as possible. Now, the second explanation that could explain why 3.70.2 stays in the PTU for that long could be the lifespan of the update itself. Remember that Star Citizen of 3.18 is scheduled to remain in test phase for at least 3 months, and that is if everything goes for the best. So it's entirely possible that it stays there even longer. And would that not be logical that CIG would try to offer a gameplay experience that would be as stable and polished as possible, so that we could have the best player retention possible? Of course, this objective is perhaps the reason why developers have given us a little bit of money at the start of the patch, and that we have all of those dynamic events happening as well. However, here I think that encouraging players to come back with money and activities is not enough if we are then stuck by NPCs that do not spawn, or if we are frustrated because of missions that do not pay. Especially that feeling is going to be all the way enhanced, or I should say maybe amplified, if players then get that frustrated. They're going to perhaps even trash talk about the game, or perhaps even not even pay for a full account after a free fly event, for example, like those that we have during CitizenCon or during the Expo, and that would even leave them with a bad impression. So, are these extended works going to have an impact on the annual planning for releases? I think that the answer is yes. I mean, imagine that the test phase for 3.18 starts next week with the Evocati group, right? That means that if we follow the scheduled plans, we are in for a possible release for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, which is going to be happening in the month of November, which would not be a surprise because CIG usually likes to have releases that coincide with their special events. But how about the last update, you know, the one that we have for the fourth quarter of the year, which should in theory be started in 3.19? Will it be sacrificed for a more humble 3.18.1 or 3.18.2, which would just bring in some bug fixes and maybe the whole sea, or perhaps a couple of new caves and derelicts? Well, I think that's actually more than likely, and I think that right now the developers are all in on decks for already 3.18, and then by then they will be moving on to 4.0 and server meshing. So there we have it, guys. This is what we could say about this. I don't know how many times it's been in the PTU already, but I think that given the transition period that we are in right now, it is the best thing to do, polishing the game, making sure it is as playable as possible, because, well, right now, you know, we're getting as many corrections as possible, regular updates, and probably that's going to be the best way to make us wait until 3.18. But let me know in the comment section down below, guys, since we're talking about 3.18, when do you think 3.18 will be released? I'm thinking that we're going to be having 3.18 for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. We'll have a significant showcase at the Digital CitizenCon this year, and then a release for the Expo. That's the way I see it, but let me know what you guys think, and you can get to win a Centurion with LTI if you do that, and subscribe to the channel. Also, guys, if you want more chances to win more Centurions, we got the Discord channel that you can join. All you have to do over there is to join our video sharing contest or become a Patreon member or YouTube John member. Guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, it's the Eradicator. A big shout out to Dr. Fabin, Captain Snake, Geek Citizen, Eric, and the Jidan. I will see you guys later.